Hello students, good morning, and this is Mr. KVR, Biology lecturer, Chaitanya College, B.S. Rao Nagar, Vijayawada campus. So today's session is something about anatomy of flowering plants. Anatomy of flowering plants. Before starting this lesson, we should have to discuss something about this importance of this lesson is around 2 questions to 3 questions. Hardly 2 questions. Sometimes very rarely 3 questions will come. 2 to 3 questions weightage lesson. And one more important thing is the most important part of this anatomy is deleted. That is, one is tissues and another one is secondary growth. So if you observe the 36 years of NEET examination paper, if the questions are 36 years, at least 1 to 2 questions are there. So around 70 questions, 72 questions will be there from anatomy, of which majority of the questions will have appeared from these two side headings. One is tissues and second one is growth. Out of 72 questions, majority of questions are coming from these two important part. But of course, these two things are deleted from our new textbook. Deleted from our new textbook. It means that anatomy is reduced. Anatomy is reduced. Now the anatomy starts with tissue systems. Anatomy lesson starts with the tissue systems. Clear? And ends with the TS of the leaf. Tissue systems, 3 types of tissue systems are there. We know very well. The one is epidermal tissue system. Second one is ground tissue system. Third one is vascular tissue system. 3 tissue systems we will discuss. The one before that, you should have to know the reason why this part of tissue is deleted, why the secondary growth is deleted from this anatomy. Some of you may have that query or doubt. So here we have one lesson, that is growth and development. In growth and development, certain things are discussed about differentiation, dedifferentiation and redifferentiation. And the secondary growth part is also certain places it was discussed. And that is why these two side headings were removed from our lesson. So why we have to get be cautious about this lesson, because most important side headings were deleted, so that we should have to concentrate on this reduced part, because the number of questions will be constant but size is reduced. So importance of the present side headings will be more than the earlier days. Okay, so tissue systems are of 3 types. Epidermal tissue system, epidermal tissue systems, and second one is ground tissue system, and third one is vascular tissue system. Sir, which is most important side headings are? So all 3 side headings are equally important. So what is epidermal tissue system? What is epidermal tissue system? All the tissues that are connected with epidermis comes under epidermal tissue system. The one is cuticle. One is cuticle layer. Second one is epidermis itself. Epidermis. Okay. And the third one is stomata. And the fourth one is you can go with the trichomes. And fifth one is you can go with root hairs. Root hairs. And if you talk about the leaves, you can have bulliform cells. Bulliform cells. are the structures associated with the epidermal tissue system. Was it clear? Epidermal tissue system, what all structures connected with the epidermis of the root, of the stem and of the leaf. Epidermis of the root, stem and leaf. Got it? Clear? There are 5 side headings. So let me count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6. Okay, there are 6 side headings we should have to remember. Done. So let it be here. So let's go with this new part. So let me delete the rest of the things. So I'll start with the epidermal tissue system. Epidermal tissue system. Epidermal tissue system. The one is cuticle. The cuticle is waxy layer. Waxy layer. So it should be clear. Textbook statement in stem, that is thin layer. In leaf, that is thick layer. So in textbook it is mentioned in stems, that is thin cuticle is there. In leaf, thick cuticle is there. Cuticle is a waxy layer. This waxy layer allows reduce rate of transpiration. Reduce rate of transpiration. This is the most important point that you have to remember under reduce rate of transpiration. Cuticle helps the plant to maintain moisture. Okay, inside this. So cuticle is a waxy layer. Cutin is a lipid layer present above the surface of the epidermis. Present above the epidermis of stems and leaves. Stems and leaves. Was it clear? So what is the important point that we can remember under cuticle is so absent in underground parts. Absent in underground parts. Clear? Was it clear? Clear? So cuticle is absent in underground parts. Clear? Next I'll go for epidermis. Side heading epidermis. Epidermis. What could I say? Epidermal cells are single layered. Okay, and the epidermis is always barrel shaped cells. Barrel shaped cells and compactly arranged. Compactly arranged means intercellular spaces are absent. Intercellular spaces absent. Helps in protection of inner layers. So why I am writing this in such a way? This is A, B, C, D, E. So expected question is how many of these are true with respect to the epidermis? With respect to the epidermis. So epidermis is again, so you should have to be careful. Epidermis is single layer, important, barrel shaped cells, compactly arranged without any intercellular spaces. Intercellular spaces are absent, and protection of inner layer. All the statements are connected with epidermis. Was it clear for you? Was it clear? So now the second side heading epidermis is over. Second side heading epidermis is over. Let us go for the next slide. That is the most important side heading. So far five questions appeared, sorry, 8 questions appeared in NEET examination from this side heading. So that is the importance of this side heading. So have a look here. So this is one bean shaped, this is another bean shaped guard cells. This is what I am discussing about stomata. I am discussing about stomata, the small pores, small pores, small pores present on the epidermis of the leaves and young stems, leaves, young stems. They are called as stomata. Clear? I will delete this part for a couple of minutes. Done. So the stomata is having two guard cells in vicinity. In means very close. In vicinity, the guard cells have some subsidiary cells. Subsidiary cells. Clear? So students, I told you 8 questions have came so far. The first question is 2018. I am not going in a chronological order. So first question is 2018. Opening and closing of stomata is due to change in the turbidity of guard cells. Opening and closing of stomata is due to the change in the turbidity of guard cells. Point number 1. Point number 2, I'll tell you this. What are these dots? These are chloroplasts. Very old AIPMT question. So only epidermal cells with chloroplasts, only epidermal cells with chloroplasts are guard cells. Clear? And now the cellulosic microfibrils. Cellulosic microfibrils are expanded radially rather than longitudinally. This is radial arrangement of cellulosic microfibrils. So what is the importance of cellulosic microfibrils? Stomata open and close. Flanking is in this direction only. Clear? So the chloroplasts. Now let us rename this subsidiary cells. The green color cell is guard cell. Guard cells. And these are chloroplasts. Chloroplasts, and this is cellulosic microfibrils. Cellulosic microfibrils. And let you know something about some most important feature of the guard cells is the inner wall of the guard cell is thick and elastic. This is important. The inner wall of the guard cell is thick and elastic. Was it clear to you? Was it clear to you? Inner wall. Inner walls are thick and elastic. Thick and elastic. Was it clear? Outer walls. Outer walls are thin. If it is elastic, it should also be elastic. Okay, it's given as thin. Okay, I would like to mention the question number 1. Question number 1. So cells that are in close association with guard cells subsidiary cells. What do you call it as? Subsidiary cells. These yellow colored cells are subsidiary cells. It is around 2010. I'm not sure 2010 or 11. So now the guard cells and subsidiary cells. Can you see this? They differ from. So guard cells differ from subsidiary cells. Guard cells differ from subsidiary cells. A. Number. B. Size. C. Shape and structure, and most important, D. Function. Was it clear? Guard cells differ from subsidiary cells in being. Their number is only two. Okay, they differ in size, they differ in shape, they differ in structure, they differ in function. That is, physiological activity of the guard cell and subsidiary cells are different. Was it noted? Was it noted? Shall I cut this part? Shall I cut this part? So I will continue. So I have explained the yellow color cells only. Yellow color cells means that is nothing but subsidiary cells. Clear? Done. 1, 2, 3, go. Done. Now let us come to the guard cells. This is PYQ, previous year question. Done. So guard cells. Guard cells are bean shaped. Guard cells are bean shaped, or it is called as kidney shaped. Kidney shaped. So you might have knowing the fact the study of kidneys is called as renology, and it is called as reniform in dicots. In dicots. That is the same. This is one question. The guard cells are dumbbell shaped. So in monocots. Dumbbell shaped in monocots. Of course, not required, but it's as a part of PYQ, previous year questions, very old previous year question. So the guard cells. So this is first I will mention 2018 question. Opening and closing of stomata is due to change in the turgidity. Change in the turgidity. Please write it down. Change in the turgidity of guard cells. Please make it down. Opening and closing of stomata is the most important. Opening and closing of stomata is due to change in the turgidity of guard cells. Was it clear? Regarding the guard cells, 2 questions have came, and recent past also 1 question is there, and one other question is. So let us wait. Clear? I will clear this part. Let the diagram to be here with us. Okay. So what is the other question? What is the other question? What is the other question with respect to this stomata? Is only epidermal cells. Only epidermal cells with chloroplast. With chloroplast is guard cells. Okay, another question appeared. Cellulosic microfibrils arranged radially rather than longitudinally. Okay, so just now I was discussing some questions are out of NCERT but PYQs. So one more question appeared earlier, APMT question, PYQs. So this part, the central part is called as stomatal aperture. Or pore. Central pore is called a stomatal aperture. Was it clear? Stomatal apparatus is equal to guard cells plus subsidiary cells plus aperture. Guard cells plus subsidiary cells plus aperture. Guard cells plus subsidiary cells plus aperture. Together called is stomatal apparatus. Stomatal apparatus. Was it clear? And now, just now I told you, stomata is usually open in the day. Open in day. This is photoactive stomata. Was it clear? Stomata open in night. This is photoactive stomata. You might have remembered that some houses, more particularly in villages, one aloe vera plant is hanging from the top of the roof. So that aloe vera plant, when some small infants are there, okay, then infant babies wants to have fresh air. So within the same room, if all we are releasing carbon dioxide, something should be there to absorb this carbon dioxide. So this photoactive stomata is present in CAM plants, the crassulacean acid metabolism plants, and regular C3 and C4 plants will have photoactive stomata, but CAM plants, what do you mean by CAM plants, sir? CAM plants means crassulacean acid metabolism or succulent plants which have fleshy leaves like aloe vera, bryophyllum. Okay, these are fleshy plants. Their leaves are fleshy. They absorb carbon dioxide in the night time. Unlike the other plants, other regular plants, these aloe vera plants, Portulaca, Bryophyllum, absorb the carbon dioxide by opening their stomata in the night time. Succulent plants. So these are photoactive, good for our health, because all plants absorb carbon dioxide in the daytime. No problem, no issue at all. But these plants absorb night time. So this is essentially required for a domestic living. One aloe vera plant should be there to absorb carbon dioxide in the night. Of course, they may not release oxygen in the night, but they do absorb all carbon dioxide, what all you people are releasing during night time. That's good for our health. Clear? And of course, 1770, Joseph Priestley, and 1774, Joseph Priestley discovered oxygen. By the time oxygen is discovered, what is his comments on the oxygen? Plants during light absorb toxic gases, absorb impure gases, and release pure gases in the presence of light. What is the impure gases? Are the carbon dioxide, and pure gases are the oxygen. And what all the questions left? Let me cut this part again. So what all the questions related with the stomata? Shall I cut? 1, 2, 3, go. Start. Done. So what are the remaining questions present on the with respect to stomata? Of course, it's all question. 1 to 2% of total leaf surface area is covered by stomata. Could you now understand? So percentage of the leaf surface that is covered by percentage of the leaf surface covered by the stomata is only 1 to 2 percentage. So what is the main function, or we call it as primary physiological function is exchange of gases. Exchange of gases. Main physiological function of the stomata is exchange of gases. Students, do remember default function. Default function is transpiration. What is called as actually stomata are not maintained, or stomata are not there for transpiration. As there is a pore, there is a chance of evaporation of water in the form of vapor, in the form of a vapor from aerial parts of the plants is called its transpiration, is the default function. The functions of stomata, then you can go for both exchange of gases as well as transpiration. That the main function of the stomata is only the exchange of gases. Was it clear? Shall I go for the next slide reading? So I think I might have covered all 8 questions. Inner walls of the stomata are thick and elastic. This is one question. Cellulosic microfibrils arranged radially rather than longitudinally. Other question. Only epidermal cells with chloroplasts are guard cells. Opening of, closing and stomata is due to change in the turgidity of guard cells. So now another question, what we can expect from the same stomata is, so have a look here, the guard cells, the central green color cells, if they are turgid, stomata opens. If they are flaccid, stomata is closed. It means that opening and closing of stomata is due to change in the turgidity of guard cells. Was it clear? Have you noted down the point? The opening and closing of stomata is due to change in the turgidity of guard cells. Okay, guard cells are flaccid, stomata is closed. Then shall I go for the next side heading? That is another structure that is associated with the epidermis, or trichomes. So have a look here. This trichome is of course unbranched and it is multicellular. Sometimes some trichomes, have a look here. Some trichomes may be glandular, because they would like to store water. Was it clear? So they have some. So some trichomes may be branched. Okay, So let us see what's the things covered under trichomes. So let us we go according to the textbook lines only. Textbook lines. Let us see, the first word is multicellular. They may be stiff or soft. Stiff or soft. Branched. Sometimes branched or unbranched or unbranched. They may be glandular. So another thing what we can remember, store water. Another thing what we can remember is they store water and maintain moisture. That's what I'm telling. Maintain moisture around the stomata. If stomata is covered by certain trichomes which maintain moisture, immediate atmosphere of the stomata is not dry. So that what happens? These trichomes, let us say, if you have a stomata here, let us say this is one stomata, and trichomes are covering the stomata and maintain moisture. So immediate atmosphere of the stomata is not dry, so that trichomes helps in reduction of rate of transpiration. Reduction of rate of transpiration. Was it clear? Clear? Reduction of rate of transpiration. So trichomes. So what is the main function of the trichomes? Reduce the water loss. Water loss. Assertion. Trichomes reduce the water loss. Reason. Trichomes maintain moisture around the stomata and are true. Correct explanation. And are true. Correct explanation. Okay, students. In this session, within the given time and limited time, so I have explained the most important side headings of this epidermal tissue system, that is stomata and trichomes. In the next session, we will go with some other important points. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day.